The sky was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
What is up, everyone? How are y'all doing today? This is the only Mazar here. We got our last match of the week set up for you tonight. We have Steel Army facing off against Emerald City Blue in what is going to turn out to be a live or die situation for either team in terms of their playoff aspirations. So we've had a bunch of teams already qualify for the playoffs. We only have one spot remaining. And that spot is held by Timbers Army at this time. But to describe the wider context, I'll be going into the league table very shortly. Actually, right about now. So this is what the table looks like at this time, folks. We have the locals at the top. And not only are they at the top for now, they've also guaranteed themselves to finish in the top 2. Heading into the final week, the gap between them and third place is 5 points. So even if they get swept and Black Army wins their match via a sweep, Black Army can only get up to 32 points. That's 1 point per game, plus an extra point for winning the match. So the locals are going to finish in the top 2 no matter what. They're guaranteed to have that bye into the second round. Emerald City RC, though, have not guaranteed that yet. To guarantee that, they just need to win one game. If they win one game, their win percentage should be high enough to keep them in second place at the very least. And Black Army and the rest are going to be stuck in third place and lower. Now, with second place still open, Black Army and El Matador both still have a chance to finish up there. Although, now that I look at it again, El Matador probably has a very slim to... Actually, they don't have a chance at all. Their win percentage is too low. And I think that's the case with Black Army as well. Their win percentage is also too low. So, mathematically, I guess locals and Emerald City RC are qualified to the next round. And that's your guaranteed top 2 going into the playoffs. Now, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are all sealed. Black Army, El Matador, and the Rebellion are all through to the playoffs. And that is because they have a points gap that is greater than 4 between themselves and KC Cauldron. KC Cauldron can only get up to 24 points. Timbers Army is in an interesting situation. They are not guaranteed yet. They are, however, in a good position, and they have control of their destiny. So, for them to qualify, they need to get 25 points. Makes sense, so they just need to win their next match, and they'll be through to the playoffs. As for Steel Army and Emerald City Blue, whichever team loses is out. That's it. They're done. And even if one of these teams were to get 2 games won, they still won't have enough to get more than 21 points. I guess no, Steel Army is kind of different because if they win 2 games and lose, they'll be on 17, and Emerald City Blue will also be on 17. So if Steel Army lose in 5 games and they get those 2 wins, then they can still have a chance, but those 2 teams need Timbers Army to get swept in Week 11. And in Week 11, Timbers Army are facing Los Verdes, folks, so I don't know about that. And then we have the remaining 2 teams, Los Verdes and Emerald City Defiance. They are out of the playoffs. Emerald City Defiance completed their season yesterday after they played KC Cauldron. Cam is asking for the prediction. We are going to get there in a bit, Cam. Actually, let me put it up right about now, because we still have a few minutes. So I forgot to complete the old predictions. If you're seeing this right now, that's why. Didn't matter. Only one person voted for KC Cauldron to beat Defiance. Yeah, so nothing really changed. All right, here is the prediction being set up for the upcoming match. There you go. Vote into it. Christmas. Yeah, I just saw that. Thank you for that. Don't know why that second name didn't apply, but I did put that in. Right. So, here's the situation. Emerald City Blue are on 13 points. Steel Army are on 15. The most Emerald City Blue can get if they win tonight and next week is 21 points. So the only way they can go through and also go through with a high enough win percentage is if they sweep Steel Army and sweep their next opponent. Their opponent in week 11 is Emerald City RC. So, tough assignment for them. Still doable, technically. So, we'll see if they could at least get a sweep tonight. If they cannot get the sweep tonight, their assignment will be much tougher. And they need to hope for Timber's Army to get swept regardless in week 11. As for Steel Army, if they lose this match 3-2, they still have a chance, but they also need Timber's Army to get swept. However, if they win this and win the next match, they can go up to 23 points. So, if Timber's Army somehow loses and Steel Army wins this match and the next match, they could still make it. But then you also have KC Cauldron. KC Cauldron is also at play here, and if KC Cauldron wins, they can go through as long as Timber's Army doesn't win. So that battle for 6th place, folks, is very close. You still have 4 teams in it right now. After this, you may still have 4 teams if the match finishes 3-2 to Emerald City Blue. Otherwise, it'll be 3 teams. Right, so we are just about ready to go. We do have both teams in. We will get started very soon. So, folks, if you are making your predictions, go ahead right now. I see only one prediction in so far. I'm sure more of you will be wanting to predict on this. This is a very close match, by the way. In all honesty, I don't know how this will go. Both teams have been hitting their form at the right time. Maybe a little bit too late, but, they still have a chance. Emerald City Blue have gotten big results in recent weeks. They beat El Matador 3-1, albeit a somewhat rotated El Matador, but that's still a good result nonetheless. And they also have been getting, points overtime over some of their other games. Like when they lost to Timber's Army, they got 1 game off of them. They beat Emerald City Defiance 3-1. So they're slowly starting to get more and more points. Their problem here is they're going to have to face a Steel Army team that's also getting it to form at the right time. They swept El Matador week 9. Again, a rotated El Matador, but still a good result. And Steel Army in week 8 swept Emerald City Defiance 3-1 convincingly. And Steel Army's also been starting to get a bit more of those points, in past matches. Like when they lost to Black Army, they got 1 point. So they, like Emerald City Blue, have been chipping away against, their opponents throughout the season. But it's come down to this. It's come down to which team can win. It's come down to which team can keep themselves in contention in the final week. Personally speaking, I originally predicted this to go 3-2 to Emerald City Blue. And it's because their good players are starting to get into form at the right time. You have Huskies, who is consistent with his goal scoring, and you have Christmas, who is the difference maker for their team, the tempo setter, the guy who controls everything in that side. He basically runs the show on the offense, and defensively, this team has been very good at keeping goals out. Steel Army have also been getting into form. You have Debit, who's starting to score a lot more, and Bear Blitz is shining when he takes control of the matches. So in a way, these two teams are kind of similar to each other. You have Debit and Huskies, the goal-scoring machines, and the teams that can contribute big-time defensively. And you have Christmas and Bear Blitz, the playmakers, the players who can take control and build up attacks, and who create a lot of chances. And then you have Red 4 and Funk, who are the typical third players. 2 players who are disruptors, who cause chaos, and who are there to keep the pressure up for their respective sides. All right, folks, we are ready to go right now. We are going to hop in. If you have put your predictions in, feel free to let us know in the chat. Otherwise, we'll see how this match goes, and let's have some fun. And both teams are hopping in. We will be going to the game very shortly. As the clock ticks down, the game should load very shortly. And here we go. Game 1 between Steel Army and Emerald City Blue. Red 4 starting it off for Steel Army. Debit taking a quick shot, and Christmas clearing it out with a booming save. Bear Blitz on his Octane, trying to keep that out. Red 4 now brings it to the midfield, 0 boost, but he stays close to the ball and forces the clearance off of Emerald City Blue, who now has Christmas coming in. Cannot get a shot on target, but it's a good back and forth affair between both sides right here, folks. And as expected, Bear Blitz is there, creating a chance off the backboard. Red 4 to the far post. 1-0 to Steel Army. What a start for the boys in yellow. And it is the trio of brothers who have come in with a hot start. Red 4, Bear, and Debit, all brothers, yes. And they're showing their chemistry to work really well out here for them. And that's probably what they need to make the difference right now. As Red 4 plays a pass into the middle, Debit disrupting Funk. Now Huskies needs to clear this off, but is having a bit of trouble. Funk helps him out, and now Huskies has a chance to build up the attack and get a shot on goal. So far, Steel Army hold on, but Funk takes a shot on net. Bear Blitz gets it out and clears it away to the opposite end. Devin plays a pass off the corner, tries to go for a follow-up himself. Cannot make it, and Huskies clears this out. Huskies has one more to beat. Open net. Huskies equalizes right on time. And that's all it takes, folks, to get back into this. You have one team overcommitting, kind of, in Steel Army. Red 4 did the right thing, but just couldn't get up there on time. And Huskies beats Bear, who was a step too slow, and gets the goal for Emerald City Blue. Christmas goes up. Is he going to go for a double? He does. He does not get the angle. Funk follows up, but Bear with a massive intervention right there keeps the ball out of the net. Now Bear, what am I talking about? Devin has a chance to get a shot on target. Bear follows up next. Ball goes wide. Pressure remains though. Funk gets it out. He cannot take control though, but Christmas clears away. Funk needs to win this 50, fails to do so. And this is a really tightly contested match, folks. Both Steel Army and Emerald City Blue have their good chances. They're able to defend well, and they're able to bring it out into the midfield as well. Back and forth affair like a pendulum swinging from one side to the other. Oh, Bear Blitz had a good chance right there. Plays it off the backboard. Red 4 cannot get a touch of the ball, but he does demo one of the opposition Emerald City Blue players. Now Christmas plays it out. Huskies towards the net. Once again, Bear Blitz gets caught out, and Emerald City Blue take the lead. And it's similar to how the first goal was conceded, except this time Christmas does get an assist right here. It's Christmas who beats Red 4. And then Bear Blitz left all on his own, commits to try and win the ball, but Huskies is a step ahead of him, gets the shot into the back of the net yet again. 2-1 to Emerald City Blue, and they're looking pretty good right here, despite the early pressure from Steel Army. Oh, Devin, he whiffs! The net is open! Can Red 4 follow up for 0 boost? He cannot! Emerald City Blue follow up their second with a quick-fire third, and this is exactly the sort of start that Emerald City Blue needed right here. This time it's Christmas making the difference, and Christmas stepping up and playing a part. If there was going to be a difference maker, it was going to be him. A bunch of players in the past have talked about how good Christmas has been in their various interviews. Debit even highlighted him recently. And he is turning up and being a big threat right now for Emerald City Blue against Steel Army. Devin off the corner. This ball is arcing high up in the air to the opposite end. Red 4 waits for it to drop, plays it off the corner himself. Devin's there to follow up. Cannot get the shot on target. Bear Blitz now takes a shot. Christmas cannot get this out. The pressure sustains. Huskies clears it out now. Devin takes control. Bear Blitz is coming for a follow-up. Devin get the shot on net. He can. Christmas and Funk They need to clear this off. Chaos at the back, and Bear Blitz capitalizes. 3-2 to Steel Army with less than 90 seconds to go. Chat, thank you guys for coming in and checking this out. I see a bunch of names in already. Cam, Smashly, Toad, Christmas, you told me about the lobby. Thank you for that. And Luis as well. Most recently saying, Uncle Deb looking like David out there. I mean, kind of, but he's also playing a good part of the match right here. Like, he's not, you know, struggling or overdoing it. Like this, a good bump off Huskies at the far post. Emerald City Blue need to get out of the goal. They're penned back right now. That might help. Funk, though, gets beaten by Debit right there, who has the time to settle on the ball, except Huskies comes in and has this and caused a bit of chaos right there, but Steel Army have enough time to get back in control. Funk beating one, tries to beat a second, but doesn't have the boost to really follow up there. Christmas now, he has enough boost to clear this out at least. Red 4 shot on net. Huskies clears it out. Bear Blitz has the boost to follow up right here. What can he do with this? Plays it into the middle via deflection, and Christmas is able to clear this off. And with less than 30 seconds to go, this could go any which way, folks. So far, Emerald City Blue are doing a decent job of holding off the Steel Army attacks. But Steel Army can still come back. They still have time on their side. It's only a 1-goal deficit, and you can get a goal in Rocket League at any time. So Steel Army still have a chance, and Emerald City Blue need to remain vigilant as the clock ticks down. Huskies gets it out. This is perfect for Emerald City Blue. Pass into the middle. Christmas gets a shot off of the crossbar, but that is all they needed. Emerald City Blue win game 1 in this match. What a closely contested affair that was, folks. There was a lot of good that both teams did, but at the end of the day, Emerald City Blue punished Steel Army, caught Bear Blitz off guard. I think they probably identified him as a weak point defensively, because he tried to commit up, and then he hesitated, and that caused so many problems to Steel Army. They might need to find a way to work around that. Maybe a substitution might be what they need. Who knows? But for Emerald City Blue, this is the start that they needed. This is perfect. Luis in chat asks, can one of these teams actually make playoffs, or it's impossible? Both of them can still make the playoffs, Luis. So if Emerald City Blue wins, they have a chance. If Emerald City Blue loses, they're out. Steel Army can still make it in the playoffs if they lose this match, as long as they win 2 games. If they don't win 2 games, they're out as well. So bear with us for a little bit, folks. I think the lobby got destroyed by the game, so I'm going to have to remake this and hope that everyone comes in. But this is exactly what Emerald City Blue needed. The momentum is on their side. And I think both teams are in, so we should be good to go. And we will be switching over for Game 2 in the Forbidden Temple. You just saw the kickoff there between Devin and Funk. This is perfect for Emerald City Blue. Christmas going for a double. He does not have the boost. Funk misses as well. Huskies gets a shot on target, but not with the power. And Raisin Boy, the player who has subbed in for Red 4, comes in to see if he can make the difference for Steel Army. Devin lofts it up to the opposite end. Huskies fails to clear this. A big demo by Devin, but Bear Blitz cannot get this on target. And Emerald City Blue survive that attacking effort by Steel Army. Nice 50 there by Debit on Christmas. Raisin Boy passes it to Debit, who kind of hesitates and lets Huskies come in and interfere with that. Now, Christmas cannot clear this off. Funk with 0 boost needs to deal with this, and he does the best he could. That is great defending right there. Sticking in front of the ball and winning a 50 to get it out of the goal. But it's not over yet. They're still dealing with the pressure. Bear Blitz misses. Huskies gets it away. Devitt misses as well. And Raisin Boy, who need to go back and pick up the boost, can only come up to the midfield to keep this pressure up. The EC Blue are still holding on. Huge save again. Another shot off target. Another shot off target. Can this go in? No, it cannot. Oh my goodness. What a defensive effort right there from Emerald City Blue. Huskies willing his team out of that spell of trouble by bumping Devitt into the ball. Chat, please clip that. What an epic sequence right there. Smashly in chat asks, did you say if they lose tonight, they can still get it with 2 wins? Steel Army, yes, they still have a chance technically. Because with 2 wins, they go up to 17 points, and the max they get is 21. Timbers Army need to get swept for Steel Army to still progress. But as we've talked about before, that's a tough ask, and we can go into that after this matchup. For now, though, Emerald City Blue are holding on for dear life in this game, too. Steel Army look way better now that Raisin Boys come in, and the defensive wall has finally been broken down. Steel Army have kept hitting the sledgehammer with chance after chance. Funk, unfortunately, overshoots that ball, and it is 1-0 to Steel Army. Luisa chat says ECB are super fun to watch. Fully agreed. They have been getting better and better as the season has progressed. We're seeing them play with more confidence. This match is a good one for sure, folks. Raisin Boy, nice first touch, good second touch, oh, for the near post, even gets a bump, but the shot is not on target, and Steel Army are not able to follow up right there. Man, with the number of chances Steel Army have created, surely they should get more than 1 goal. They cannot afford to sit on a 1-goal lead right now. As we've seen in Game 1, Emerald City Blue can make a goal very quickly out of their counterattacks. Good pass by Christmas to Huskies. Huskies has a shot on goal opportunity, but he cannot take it. Funk cannot win that 50. Off the backboard, Bear Blitz looks awkward, and he cannot get a shot on target. Debbing needs to fall back to set the defensive stats for his team. Raisin Boy clears it off. Devitt, can he get to this ball and challenge Mr. Funk? He cannot. He lets Funk get it the first touch, and that allows him to clear the ball out to Bear. Once again, Emerald City Blue are stepping up. Christmas this time, off the side wall. Cannot follow it up, though. Devitt takes a good first touch. Funk, though, with a nice challenge. Huskies pass it into the middle to Funk. Funk cannot get his shot into the net. Great defensive effort right there by Steel Army. They needed 2 players to hold him off. And now Huskies follows up. Big save by Raisin Boy. Christmas, though, cannot get the shot on target. If there was a chance for Emerald City Blue to come back, that was it. And now Huskies looks awkward, but Funk bails him out. And Steel Army are coming back and getting this pressure going once again. Oh, man. This Emerald City Blue team has held on. This is still a 1-goal game. They still have a chance at coming back into this. But now Steel Army are holding on for their dear life. This attacking onslaught is continuing from Emerald City Blue. Big 50 there from Huskies, who goes for boost. Christmas passes it to the middle. That looks like a good setup. But Bear Blitz is there first. Can he follow this up off the corner? He cannot. Huskies, though, clears this out. Now it's Raisin Boy's turn. The ball rolls up the corner. Straight to Bear Blitz. Shoots it to the bottom. 2-goal lead at the perfect time for Steel Army. And I believe that is Bear Blitz's 2nd goal as well. Just a very unfortunate touch there from Huskies. It set up Bear Blitz perfectly, and Christmas was expecting a higher shot. He had to come down. He couldn't make it on time. This is really, really important for Steel Army. They need this game to win to shift the momentum back into the middle. But there's still time for Emerald City Blue to come back if they can get a goal right here. Good chance set up by Christmas. Bear Blitz whiffs. And Devitt has time to get this out. Great control. Flicks it over. 0 boost. Bear Blitz. Sorry, no. Raisin Boy misses the ball. Now Bear Blitz clears it up to the middle. Christmas off the backboard. And it's too late, folks. Steel Army win Game 2 after an insane sequence to kick off the match. Oh, man. Time to breathe, folks. Time to breathe. Whew. And seriously, I do need to get a drink of water because my throat's going already. Oh, man. I hope the rest of these games go like this. That was incredible. Just back and forth. Both teams defending very well. Both teams created good chances. Steel Army could have won this by more in all honesty, but they just weren't able to get their shots on target. However, Emerald City Blue defended terrifically. Their defending there was some of the best I've seen in SGL this season. Capped off by the great Huskies bump on Devitt to save their team from conceding early on. So we head into game 3. I think both teams will stay with the same lineups. So we'll see who they go with. Both teams are getting it. I think we are going to remain with the same lineups. Yes, we absolutely are. As we switch over to the game, Bear Blitz and Huskies kick off game 3 at DFH. Who can take the advantage right here? Steel Army with a fast start. Steel Army with a goal 5 seconds into game 3. And that looked like the perfect kickoff for Steel Army. Funk going for the boost steal in the middle. Although Devitt already had enough boost to get onto that. Christmas was not ready for the quick fire shot by Devitt. And that is how you kick off a game, folks, with a good kickoff sequence. Courtesy of Steel Army. Funk gets this out with enough boost to dribble this. He's looking for a pass, though. Cannot beat Bear Blitz with that flick attempt. And now he needs to go back. Huskies now brings it out. Raisin Boy, nice first touch. Gets a second to beat Christmas. He has Funk left, who's getting harassed. Pass by Raisin to Devitt. The ball, though, does not go into the net. And Devitt, oh my goodness, he is spared his blushes by Raisin Boy, who comes in and follows up to get Steel Army's second goal. You know, there's still a lot of time for Emerald City Blue, but this is not the start they needed right here. 2 goals down already. They should have enough time to get a goal back, but this Steel Army team is looking to click it to gear already. They're quickening their pace. They're looking like they're starting to take control. Devitt out to Bear Blitz on the right flank, who beats one, pass into the middle. This is a quick fire third by Devitt now, who gets his second of the game, and EC Blue. Oh my goodness, they need to be careful right here because they're losing control of this game very quickly. After an incredibly close game 1 and 2, it looks like Steel Army have finally clicked into gear. They have finally figured it all out, and they are starting to take control of this game. Big demo, and Demo already gets his hat trick. We are 63 seconds into this game, folks, and Steel Army lead 4-0. All it took was one sweep against Emerald City Defiance, and Steel Army are finally coming into force right now. Emerald City Blue are in trouble right here in this game 3. 4-0 down already, and they have conceded so much so soon that I hope they just aren't disheartened by any of this. They still have time to come back. We've seen bigger comebacks in the past. Toad Death says, gotta reset the focus and start the comeback one at a time. I fully agree. All they need to do is just focus on getting that first goal. Don't worry about the bigger picture. Get that one goal and see what you can do from there. Right now, though, this Steel Army team is coming out super aggressive, high up the field, trying to challenge Emerald City Blue very early, trying to go for bumps and demos very early. There's Funk getting targeted, but he does not get demoed by Bear Blitz. That loose touch, though, gives the possession back to Steel Army, forcing a 50 by Christmas, who gets demoed for his trouble. Raisin to Bear to Raisin! What a play! And that is Steel Army's 5th. Folks, I don't know if Bear meant that demo on Christmas, but it worked out in the end. His 50 kick-started that. Bear to Raisin to Bear to Raisin again. and Steel Army are running away with this Game 3. Now, I don't know if anyone really saw this coming because I thought Emerald City Blue looked like they were high on confidence, but this Steel Army team has really gotten going after Raisin Boy has come in. Maybe that's all they need. They just needed Raisin Boy to come in to, you know, get them going, to get the momentum on their side. I don't know if Emerald City Blue has a similar sub available, although they don't need one, with a great effort by Huskies, and Mr. Funk cleans it up and gets a goal back for Emerald City Blue. My goodness, that second touch was just perfect. Funk could come in there, follow it up, and get a goal back. They have gotten the goal in. That's step one. Step two, can they get that second goal? Like, can they keep that going? That's how you slowly shift the momentum to your side. And Rocket League, as various people have mentioned in the past, this game is very much momentum-based. If you can get the momentum on your side, you can get back into this very quickly. Funk now getting a challenge high up the field of play. Christmas leaving this for Huskies, who beats one. Can he beat a second? He gets challenged by Raisin. Christmas is set up. He's going for a shot on target. Cannot get it on target, and Debit clears it out. Funk, though, is already coming up into the midfield with 0 boost. He didn't need to get that mid boost to keep the pressure up, and that helps his team because the pressure is now on Steel Army. Can they hold this Emerald City Blue spell? Can they keep the ball out of the back of the net for a bit longer? Can they potentially get that 6th goal? As Raisin Boy plays it off the backboard. Cannot really create a good chance. Debit boost steals, but Christmas can still follow this up with 0 boost. Cannot do it again, though. He needs to reset. Funk plays it off of the sidewall. Huskies gets beaten. Bear has enough to follow this up, but Debit takes charge off the backboard, gets the quarter boost, and Raisin Boy now has his chance to create an opportunity. Ooh, an interesting double commit right there. Bear needs to be a bit more conservative, and Steel Army kind of get away with it. And now they've reset their defensive position, but another team bump as Raisin this time gets in Debit's way. But Emerald City Blue are just not up there to capitalize on this. Right now, the ball is still stuck in the midfield, and it is in Emerald City Blue's favor as the clock ticks down to the final 60 seconds. They're keeping up the pressure. They're going for the bumps, but they're not able to capitalize on any of it. Now, Bear Blitz, he cannot get a contact on that ball. Both of his teammates are beaten. The net is open, but Christmas cannot get a shot on target. Off the backboard, Huskies cannot follow it up, and Steel Army get away with it. Oh my goodness, if you think... Oh, man, they needed a goal right there. That was it. That was their opportunity, chat. But Emerald City Blue were unable to capitalize on that good spell. And as the clock enters the final 30 seconds, they need a goal now. It's now or never for them. This 4-goal deficit can still be shortened, but it is Raisin Boy who gets the goal for Steel Army, and that has to be the dagger in this Game 3. Well, for Emerald City Blue, this comeback might not be, you know, probable. Some will say improbable, if not impossible. But if they can keep getting the goals and not conceding like this, oh boy, here we go. You guys know what's coming. You guys know what's coming. Listen, 7-1. I had to do it. But it is up to Emerald City Blue now if they can keep the scoreline as a 7-1 or if they can get a goal back or, you know, if they concede another. But, as I was saying, Emerald City Blue just need to get that 1 goal, you know, get a second goal, see if they can get a consolation. But with time running out, all they can get is a consolation right here. Unfortunately, though, they cannot make it. Steel Army wins this Game 3 in convincing fashion. 7-1 to Steel Army, and I think that is the pendulum well and truly on their side. Normac and chat saying Debit pulled their accounts. I don't know. We'll see. Because Emerald City Blue can still come back. This could go to Game 5. This is that close. Chris Aid. Long time no see, Chris. Says in chat, these Steel Army guys look pretty legit. Hey, you know all too well. You've faced them quite a bit in the past. How you doing, Chris? Toad Death says season on the line. Yes, absolutely. For Emerald City Blue, since they are on 13 points, they have to win this. They cannot afford to just go in with a 3-2 loss like Steel Army can. They have to win this. But they still have a chance, folks. Time is still on their side. I say time, but the match is still on their side. You know, it's a best of 5. They have 1 game in. They just need to win 2 more, starting with this game 4 once we get into it. And both teams are sticking with the same 3. No substitutions on either end, and it makes sense for Steel Army because they're on a roll. And I guess this might be the only 3 that Emerald City Blue has. This is their best 3 in my opinion, so why not just continue with it? But they have to change it up because they've been getting demoed and harassed, starting with Bear Blitz pushing high up the field. That has worked very well for Steel Army. How can Emerald City Blue adjust their game to counteract that? Can they get the win that they need in Game 4 to take us to Champions Field for the deciding game for their lives? Or can Steel Army end this right here, right now? And it is Steel Army who get the start that they need. Raisin Boy winning a big 50. The net open at the back. Christmas cannot make it back in time for a bumper demo. Debit once again gets in on the goal scoring act. 1-0 to Steel Army with only 31 seconds played. Chris Haynes saying, I still see Debit in nightmares from time to time. I mean, at this rate, Emerald City Blue is dealing with that current nightmare, in all honesty, because he has been on an incredible goal-scoring form right now. As he carries the ball forward, cannot get the flick over Huskies. Razor Boy follows it up, but cannot get the shot on target. Funk with 0 boost clears it out, but he needs one of his teammates to follow up on this because Bear Blitz has all the time in the world to bring this up. However, Bear Blitz cannot take advantage of this. And Huskies gets beaten to it by Raisin Boy, who tries to beat Funk. Funk with a huge 50. This net is open. Can Bear Blitz make it? And he does. He can clear this out. Funky's with Huskies with a nice first touch. Can he get a nice second touch? He sets it up in the middle. But no one is there for Emerald City Blue. And Debit is there to bring it up into the midfield and to the opposite end. Raisin Boy cannot get a shot on target yet again. But he gets bumped for his trouble. Huskies now tries to clear this out and cause some disruption. Funk needs to get onto that, win that ball, gets the first touch. Debit, though, clears it out to the right side. Now Christmas tries to pitch it off the corner to no avail. Funk gets beaten. Huskies is all by himself. He's able to control this. Nice first touch, nice second touch. Can he follow this up? Can he get that 50? He cannot. Raisin Boy clears this out. And now Funk of Emerald City Blue takes his time. Beats 2 players effectively with that hesitation, but Christmas cannot beat Debit. This ball is in the middle. Big 50 by Bear, but the ball stays out of the net. The pressure, though, is still ongoing. Funk cannot do much right there. Raisin Boy demos Christmas. It's Huskies by himself. Big trouble, and you know what that means when Debit has a shot on net. Debit gets the goal that he pretty much guarantees anytime he takes the shot. Huskies tries his best. He just doesn't have enough contact on that ball to keep it out. 2-0 to Steel Army. Hopefully this game doesn't run away from Emerald City Blue because they started this off so well. But ever since Raisin Boy came in, they've slowly been losing control. And it's Steel Army who are running the show right here, folks. Now this Emerald City Blue team has been better, you know, as the season has progressed. Christmas really grew into his own, has gained a lot of confidence. Unfortunately for these guys, this Steel Army team is just clicking, and they're in sync with each other, and everyone is stepping up and playing a huge role right now. You see Raisin Boy started early aerial, misses. Funk also misses. Christmas is beaten. Huskies, though, keeps that pressure up. This ball is loose in the middle. No one from Emerald City Blue is there to capitalize it. Debit brings it up. Gets the second touch. Raisin Boy gets bumped by Christmas. However, the early shot away, does not really trouble Steel Army much right here. And as much as Huskies disrupts Bear Blitz, Raisin is right there to follow up and help Steel Army out. Who also demos Funk as he tries to bring that out. Huskies, though, beats 2 with that. but has the ball on the right. He has one player to beat in Bear Blitz, but Bear Blitz sees this off, and he can still get a second touch. Cannot beat Christmas, but the ball is loose and in control of Steel Army, and Devitt brings it out. Can Devitt follow it up again? Off the backboard. Raisin whips. Big time. Christmas tries to set something up right there, but he just loses control of the ball very early, and now Steel Army has a chance to bring this out. Raisin and Bear Blitz, sorry, not Bear Blitz. Raisin and Devitt playing a 1-2 with each other. Not really do much with it in terms of creating a chance, but they are wasting a lot of time. That clock is ticked down to the final 60 seconds, and right now, this is in Steel Army's control. A lot of time is being wasted right now. Steel Army with a 2-goal advantage are looking very likely to win this match off of this game 4. However, there's a chance at the other end. Net is open. Huskies cannot get a shot on target. Funk tries to follow up, and Huskies tries again. Now it's Christmas taking a shot, but Steel Army hold on. They have held on. That was the moment for Emerald City Blue to get a goal. And it is game, set, and match at this point, folks. Steel Army get the 3rd goal, courtesy of Raisin Boy's final touch right here. And I think that may have been an own goal by Christmas. Yes, it was. Oh, that is unfortunate. That's a terrible way for Emerald City Blues season to potentially end. And for those of you who are not aware, we will be going into the league tables very shortly after this match. But man, oh man, after a terrific game 1, Steel Army have really stepped up and are keeping themselves alive in this playoff race. Meanwhile, for Emerald City Blue, they have fought valiantly. They have played terrific Rocket League. They have grown into this season, but unfortunately, it's too little too late for them as Steel Army keeps their playoff hopes alive and knocks out Emerald City Blue in the process. Oh, man. That Game 3 was telling, folks. That Game 3 where they lost 7-1 was just... rough. Incredibly rough. Because you could just see the confidence in Steel Army in that Game 4. They weren't hesitating. They were not waiting for the ball. They were going to it. They were challenging Emerald City Blue very early. And it meant that Emerald City Blue had to, be quicker in their decision-making. So they didn't have real time to settle onto the ball. And it was telling because every time Emerald City Blue tried to bring it forward, more often than not, they got challenged early and they had to play a loose touch. And that worked in Emerald and Steel Army's advantage. Christmas in chat coming in straight away after his match and saying, I bet if we focus on demoing, we win some games too. Potentially, yeah. Because Steel Army figured you guys out pretty much. They noticed the pattern with Funk holding at the back and you and, Huskies coming up and challenging for the ball. And they realized that the opportunity was there to demo Funk and potentially open the net at the back. But demos are part and parcel of the game. Alright, folks, bear with me for 1 second as I am updating the league table at this time. Once we get that updated, I will show you what the league table looks like as things stand. What a terrific game, though, folks. I mean, commiserations to Emerald City Blue. They fought valiantly, but they're out of playoff contention. Their season is pretty much over at this rate. But they played very well. Steel Army, though, are just too much for them. They have stepped up at the perfect time. And in all honesty, it's this kind of form that keeps them in contention. Deservedly so. Luis in chat saying, honestly surprised Steel Army played so well. That was the best they've looked, to be honest. One thing that's playing a part right there could be that they're playing on East. Maybe that could have helped them out too. Little things, they add up and help. But with that said, I think the Raisin Boy substitution made a huge difference. When Red 4 was there, they were looking good, but Raisin Boy added that extra dimension. They were able to challenge more aggressively. They had more aerial prowess with Raisin Boy, and they were able to just play much quicker Rocket League. Sorry, bear with me, folks, as we get the potential interviews ready to go, and I'm also updating the league table at this time. So, I'm just trying to show the league table off before we get the interview going. And here we go. So, as a result of that match, Steel Army are now in 19 points. They're 2 off of Timbers Army. So for them, they can still qualify if they win their match and Timbers Army lose 3-2. Or there's some other scenarios that come into play, such as Steel Army lose 3-2 in their final match and Timbers Army gets swept. Steel Army still go through because they currently have a higher win percentage. But basically, Steel Army needs to get a better result than Timbers Army. And also make sure that... No, Steel Army either needs to win this match or lose 3-2 and hope that Timbers Army gets swept. If Timbers Army win, that's it. It's over. They have full control of their destiny. But Steel Army still has a chance. If Steel Army wins, they're pretty much through. But they also need Timbers Army to lose their match for this to happen. And Emerald City Blue, they're basically out. The max number of points they can get now is 18. It's over for them. But given the way they started, they've had a very good comeback into this season. So, you know, well done to them. They've progressed very well. They've come through. It's just unfortunate that they faced this Steel Army side that is looking better than ever, in all honesty. Toad Death and Chat 6. Steel Army played themselves right to the cusp of playoffs. Crazy turnaround. Yeah, for them too. I mean, they had a terrible start to the season, and they'll admit to that themselves as we get this interview sorted out very shortly, folks. But yeah, somehow they're still in this. But they need to rely on Timbers Army losing, and they also need to hope that Casey Caldwell don't win. If Casey Caldwell wins, then they're through. So they still need a lot going their way. They don't have full control of their destiny, but the fact that they're in this now by the last week of the season is honestly great in and of itself for them, given how they started. So bear with me for a second, folks, as I get this interview set up. If I'm silent, that's why. All right, folks, we have our interview ready to go now. We are going to be joined right now by Debit of Steel Army. Debit, how are you doing, my man?
Yeah, good time. Good night tonight. That was a good game. It was fun to get back into groove. Through... Honestly, I was kind of not expecting the series to go that way, but, pleasant surprise all around. Love to see it.
So, I hope you don't mind elaborating a bit more on that final thing you said. You didn't expect the series to go that way. Why is that?
Honestly, I was kind of surprised that EC Blue, once you got them a little bit, like the game just started flowing a bit easier. EC Blue, I've seen what they're capable of. I don't know, maybe we just did something else, but I don't know, it just felt like we were in a little bit of a flow state. I don't really know how to describe it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Maybe by answering some of these questions, you'll be able to better describe what happened there. You decide to axe Red 4 after game 1 and bring in Raisin Boy in his place, and you guys looked like a completely different team. How big of a part do you think Raisin Boy plays in your team's overall play style?
It's very funny how much, maybe not confidence, but whenever just Raisin Boy's in that lineup, you just know he's gonna end up putting a lot more pressure on some of these teams. Maybe not make the easy cut back for boost or something like that, but he'll just stay around. He'll just kind of heckle you and make you think twice about what your next move is gonna be. And so maybe that just provides a little bit of comfort for the people like Bear Blitz and I, sort of make those comfortable rotations.
And I think that's a good way to describe it because it seemed like he did quite a bit of the dirty work. And I hate to describe it that way because, you guys got involved as well, but he was a more disruptive presence than Red 4 was, and it allowed you guys to, shine and flourish because he won a lot of 50s and he was able to bring the ball forward well and create a lot of good chances for you guys too. And honestly, Devin, I'm just very curious right now. What is it that got you back into your goal scoring best? Because for like the first half of the season, you're really struggling to score goals. What is it that got you back into scoring goals in regularity now?
Oh, I don't know what was up with me those games 1 and 2. I just was not doing the things that I was doing comfortably. I don't even think that was like a player diff. I think that was just me not quite, living up to like the goal scoring name. Like, I think game 2 was probably, or maybe game 1 was probably the best emblematic way of that. Because game 2, I felt like I was doing more boost stealing than anything, which did contribute in some ways. But after that, after letting them cook for a while, I think I just found the right spots. Kind of was it. Just sort of said, F it, time to go to the slot down low, put myself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look like you were in your element at that point. I mean, Bear Blitz in chat also mentions another contributing factor. It's my assist, to be honest. Better passes. I mean, he's not wrong, is he?
No, he's not wrong at all. He has a name to uphold for himself, so if I can help contribute to that in any way, that's actually my driving force now,
Yeah, I get it. So, I'm curious about one thing now, because after that game 1, we didn't see Red 4 come back ever again. So, how is he feeling about just being able to only play in game 1 and not contribute anymore?
I think we sort of talk about it a little bit. Sort of wondering how the lineup strength's gonna go, and we kind of didn't even know how it was gonna go. I even thought about taking myself out of a game, but kind of just made that executive call where we sort of looked at the lineup and said, well, maybe we can just make things a bit more interesting. Go back to the lineup that sort of puts a lot more pressure on things with that Raisin Boy inclusion. Not that Red 4 isn't capable of that, but you see whenever it's us 3 of Bear Blitz I and Red 4 where they're more pass intensive, able to sit back a bit more. Meanwhile, Raisin Boy is just yeah, push, push, push. We still got the ball. We're fine. But Red, it's funny how he's just yeah, I'll go in. Not this game? Okay, that's fine. Just call me up whenever.
Well, that's really good to see, and it's good to see that you guys are in good spirits about that too. I think that may come in handy if you guys are able to make the playoffs. With that said, you still have a lot that needs to go your way. Now, on that note, do you guys regret your early season form a bit? The fact that, you guys could have done better and not put yourself in this position?
I think I would only probably look back at some of our fixtures, and I'd actually be more impressed with some of the results we put up. I think maybe we could have done a little bit better against the locals, but we still got one on them. Still got one on ECRC. Still got, let's see, did we get any on...
You got one on Black Army.
I'll say we took games off some of the top teams, but I think that KC Cauldron week was the one that I'm kind of regretting the most out of them all, that we weren't able to get any sort of result out of. After that, honestly, the only other matchup I'd look toward, actually the only 2 matchups I'm looking at where I'd be we definitely could have done better, is the other 2 teams fighting for playoffs right now, KC and Timbers Army. Those are a series where I'm going, oh gosh, we're just not in our element right now. We're getting shut down.
Yeah, I think those 2, you're right to circle those 2 matches in particular, especially Timbers Army, because, given how you guys are playing right now, you guys aren't that far off with them, so, hey, you know what, the season has turned out this way. You guys are still in contention now, which is crazy to think of. So on that note, how do you feel about Steel Army season overall?
Honestly, pretty okay with it all. I know there's probably some regrets somewhere, but to be honest, I think there's still a lot of progress had for his team. Yeah, we won't make playoffs this time, but I think one of the biggest mottos that Steel Army has had for itself is survive the best you can with the top dogs. And although it's maybe not like excel past them, it's kind of like a slow grind. I mean, we all got our own things going on, so progress is going to be gradual, if anything. But the way we played against some of the top clubs this season, I feel like we can look back and be proud of some of the results that we got. I know there's frustrations with every loss, but I'm honestly really impressed with just how we've done this season and some of the resolve we've had against some of these teams.
Yeah, and in all honesty, like this league has been the most competitive it's ever been, and for you guys to still be in the hunt, given where you guys came from. I mean, Chris was talking about playing against you guys, in the Twitch chat. So you guys have been around for a very long time. So that journey, must have been incredible in and of itself. And it does look like you guys have developed a good amount of chemistry because of all that time playing together. So how does that transfer over to any camaraderie that you may have in real life with each other? I mean, I know 3 of you are brothers, but you also have Raisin Boy around too. Has that strengthened your bonds in real life as you go out and support the Pittsburgh Riverhounds?
Oh my gosh, absolutely! It helped me get a foothold in the Steel Army better. Because maybe you don't know a ton about Raisin Boy, but he is a Steel Army social butterfly. So getting him in, seeing us all 3, I basically give like a Viking yell to him like every time I pull up into the parking lot for a tailgate. It's just good vibes now. And now I'm becoming a bigger part of the Steel Army as well. Raisin is a reliable capo if need be in the times that we are sort of struggling to get a capo out there. And yeah, even just sort of looking back, if we're at watch parties or games together, we're just always looking for each other at this point. It's awesome.
Heck yeah. That's what I like to hear, man. I'm glad to know that this is playing a big part in that. Now, it sucks that the Pittsburgh Riverhounds season is over. Hopefully, Steel Army season doesn't follow a similar fate. But, all that depends on how Timbers Army and Casey Calder do, as well as how you guys do against the Rebellion. And how much are you guys looking forward to that final matchup against the Rebellion?
Dude, I love the Rebellion guys. They are so fun to talk to and play against. Like, I played with all of them at this point. Polar, not as much, nor as much as Gogan. But getting to know that team, that is such a fun team to play. I'm just honestly looking forward to that. I know they probably could whoop us like 3-0 or something like that because I know how good they are. But whenever I just play against them, I just have fun. So I know me personally, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how my teammates are feeling about it, but just to play a New England team like this, and they were like one of the first teams that they happened like scrim whenever coming into the league as well. So yeah, it's just fun to like see their growth and development this time, get to know them a bit better. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Heck yeah, we look forward to that matchup as well. I think that's going to be fun. As well as Timbers Army versus Los Verdes. There might be a lot of people who will be cheering for Los Verdes, particularly from your team and potentially KC Cauldron. So, do you expect a result there by Los Verdes against Timbers Army?
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not entirely feeling the greatest about the matchup upcoming for that. And I think that's sort of what played well for us, is that we are just playing with no consequences right now. And I know like we still have that outside shot, but I'm just on that like ride the meme train of like this could be like the funniest thing. Like as Luis pointed out in chat, like this could be one of the funniest things to see this go down to the wire if Los Verdes happen to get that result.
Hey, that's fair. I mean, at least you're realistic about it, because I think realistically, given how their seasons have panned out, Timbers Army are going to be the clear favorites. But we'll see what happens when that matchup comes up next week. And the next week's going to be a lot of fun. You guys rounded off week 10 right here, and now is your chance to round off this interview, Devin. So if you have any things you want to say, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Shout out to all my Steel Army teammates and cohorts that I see in this section week in and week out. Shout outs to you for running production solo tonight and doing commentating solo. I know that's a lot. I wish I could have joined you, and low-key that would have been funny if I did commentate my own team, but I'm just like, let's stick around for this. But yeah, shout outs to everybody in SGL. Side note, go vote on those proposals if you're in that Discord, by the way. Slight admin duty thing. And yeah, just shout out to everybody that we encounter here in SGL. You all help make it what it is, and we'll just keep continuing trying to make it as best we can.
Heck yeah, I could have said it better, Devitt. Really appreciate your inputs right there. And yes, good reminder of voting. Please vote. It's your responsibility as a community member. When you're a part of our community, you're expected to vote on matters that involve you. Don't let your community down. That's all I gotta say. But
Exactly,
we'll
yeah.
dive into that a little bit later. For now, though, thank you very much for the interview, Devitt. Congrats on the win. I mean, that Brazil game 2 was epic. We'll see if we can get a couple of really awesome clips as well to watch back on. But for now, have a good night, dude. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you, Maz. Peace out, everybody.
Peace. Alright, so this is now a good time to recap over week 10, folks, because we've already seen the league table. So let's see how we got to that league table by recapping over the week 10 results. So Steel Army versus Emerald City Blue in the middle was our final match of the week. That was a 3-1 win to Steel Army. Another 3-1 win was the matchup at the top between the Locals and the Rebellion. And that was also an interesting matchup because it felt like the matchup was close, but the Locals were never troubled. And when Shorts was asked in the interview about that, he kind of regretted not being able to test the Locals a bit more. And in all honesty, I think that was the win that sealed the deal for the Locals to finish in the top 2. So congrats to them on that. They're through to the next round. And they should be good to get started with their playoff run from the second round onwards. As for the Rebellion, they are currently in 4th place. They could get up to 3rd if they beat Steel Army. This 3-1 loss does give them a chance to reevaluate their game and realize what they could do to get better and how to keep themselves more consistent. Next up, we have Black Army versus Los Verdes. That was a convincing 3-0 sweep by Black Army against Los Verdes. Black Army, a team that has come back here after Season 6. They, kind of struggled in the middle of the season, but now they've found their footing yet again and are looking dominant as ever. Los Verdes, they have brought in a couple of players to improve their team, and they are looking better, but they still get outmatched by a really mechanical and fast-paced Black Army side. So, they swept Los Verdes off right there, 3-0 to Black Army. And then after the Steel Army versus EC Blue match, we have Emerald City RC versus El Matador, the match of the week. And as expected, it delivered. We went to 5 games. We had Kuva making an appearance against the team that he really does not like. And he will tell you that himself, so I'm not just passing that message on my own. Emerald City RC started off hot in game 1, but El Matador came back, and it was, punch and then counter punch and another counter punch. It was so close, back and forth game, but that game 5 was telling because El Matador took control with their strongest lineup, and they were able to see off Emerald City RC. We'll see if that is a sign of how the playoffs may go, but again, that's the playoffs. Anything can happen right there. And then finally, you have Emerald City Defiance versus KC Cauldron. KC Cauldron sweeping Emerald City Defiance 3-0 in convincing fashion as well. And just another quick look at the league table before we wrap up this stream. This is what it looks like right now. The Locals and Emerald City RC have sealed the top 2, followed by Black Army in 3rd, which is great to see given how much they struggled in the middle of the season. El Matador in 4th, 1 point behind them. The Rebellion in 5th, 2 points behind Black Army. And then Timbers Army in 6th place with their destiny in their hands. And just to make sure everyone's on the same page, Timbers Army can make it if they beat Los Verdes. That's all. If they win, they're through. Nothing else can be done for KC Cauldron or Steel Army, so they need to hope that Timbers Army loses no matter what. If Timbers Army loses, KC Cauldron need to at least lose 3-2. If they lose 3-2, their win percentage will be higher than Timbers Army's, and they can make it through no matter what. But that's only if Timbers Army loses. And then for Steel Army, well, they need more to go their way. They have to win. And if they don't win, they have to lose 3-2 and hope that Timbers Army gets swept. Tough ask. But they still have a shot. And then you have your bottom 3 teams, Emerald City Blue, Los Verdes, and Emerald City Defiance, all knocked out. Emerald City Defiance's season ended this week. They have a bye week next week, so their season is effectively over. Meanwhile, you have Los Verdes and Emerald City Blue still playing. Emerald City Blue will face Emerald City RC next week. and Los Verdes will face off against Timbers Army. For the remaining Week 11 matches, you have Steel Army versus the Rebellion, which we already kind of highlighted in the interview with Devitt, and then you have KC Calder versus El Matador, which will be a fun match to watch. So folks, that about wraps it up for the stream. We only had one match on tonight, Steel Army versus Emerald City Blue, and it was an entertaining back and forth affair with goals, with great defensive performances, with a lot of bumps and demos. But at the end of the day, Steel Army saw off Emerald City Blue and knocked Emerald City Blue out of playoff contention. So guys, thank you very much for joining in right now. Really appreciate your time. And we hope to catch you for the next stream. So have a good night. And we'll see you all next time. Peace.